Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing my MLB Standings Predictions. In this video, I'm going to be going over who I think are going to win the standings. I was going to do this video yesterday, but the room that I am recording in today was occupied, and I didn't want to have too much background noise or anything like that. There might be a little bit of background noise in this video. I have my siblings and some of the neighbors outside. They're all outside playing right now, so if there is background noise, sorry about that. But in this video, I want to go over my MLB Standings predictions for 2021 season. If you do like this video, hit that like button down below. And we're going to get started here. And we're going to start out with the American League, go through all the divisions in baseball. We're going to start out with the American League East. These are my predictions. So starting out at number 5, I have the Orioles. 64-98 record. I don't think they're going to do good. I think they'll be better this year, but I don't think they'll be as good. The AL East is a competitive division. It's not easy, and I think that it'll be the best division for just like, it's going to be one of the toughest divisions to be in. Orioles at number 5, kind of obvious. At number 4, I have the Boston Red Sox with a 75-87 record. I think this year that the Boston Red Sox are going to have a decent year. I think that they will be good. And I think that the Boston Red Sox are a team that I think they could do good. They have a higher ceiling than I think some people expect, but I just see them at number 4 just because there are some better teams in this division. At number 3, I have the Tampa Bay Rays going 81-81. I really was like, I was wondering, I was debating about Red Sox or Rays being 3 or 4. I was almost going to put the Rays at number 4, but I thought just because of how many young prospects they have and how smart their team is, I decided to put it ahead of the Red Sox at 81-81. I don't think they're going to do as good this year, but I do think they're going to be about 500 this year, and I think that's how the division is going to line up: Orioles, Red Sox, Rays. Now, coming in at number 1 and 2, at number 2, we have the Toronto Blue Jays at 91-71, and then number 1 we have the Yankees. So at number 2, like I said, we have the Blue Jays, who I think this year's going to do really good. 91-71, pretty good record. I don't think they're going to beat the Yankees this year, but I just think that they're going to be a team that's in second place. I think that the Blue Jays have a great offense. Great offense, but their pitching is just not there yet. They have Hinge and Ryu, and they have Tanner Roark and a few other guys, but that's it. The Blue Jays aren't a great pitching team. They need to get some pitching to go up, but I do think they'll have a good season, 91-71. And then the New York Yankees, I can't argue against them. They're a really good team. 102-60, I put them at. I think they're going to do good this year. They're going to be one of the best teams in the American League, and I put them at number 1 because I think they're a good team. Great offense, great pitching. It's just going to depend on if they can stay healthy. Can their pitchers stay healthy, and can their hitters stay healthy? Next up, moving on to the AL Central. At number 5, we have the Detroit Tigers. Number 4, we have the Royals. And number 3, we have the Indians. So I put the Tigers at 61-101. Tigers aren't in a good mode. You know, they're kind of in a rebuilding stage, and the Tigers don't have many great players right now on their roster. They do have some young pitching coming up. Casey Mize, they have Spencer Torkelson coming up, Tariq Skubal, Matt Manning. There's some good guys coming up, but 61-101, not a great team. I do think they're going to be worse than the Orioles this year. Next up at number 4, the Kansas City Royals, 74-88. I think they could actually be sneaky good this season if their pitching can perform decently, just because that offense is not bad. They have a good 1 through 6, 1 through 7 lineup, which is decent, and I think they could be better than 74-88, but just at their expectations going in the season, I have them right about there. Better than last year, but not great. And then at number 3, I have the Indians at 80-82. I thought this year, just because the next 2 teams are pretty good, like they're really good teams, I think that the Indians are going to be below 500, just about there. The Indians are still good. They have great pitching, but that offense, they're going to need Rosario and Ramirez and Reyes to really head that team up, because they don't have many bats in that lineup. They traded Lindor. They got Ahmed Rosario and Andres Jimenez, but I don't think that's going to be enough for them in just the next few years. Indians at number 3. Now number 1 and number 2. I'm going to shock some people, but at number 1 I have the Twins, and number 2 I have White Sox. I know I'm a Twins fan. A little bit of bias here, but there is a reasoning behind this. There is a reasoning. I think the White Sox are on paper the better team. I think the White Sox are a better team on paper, but the reason why I think the Twins are going to do better is I think as an overall team, if you put them on the field and you're going to go a full 162, I think the Twins have the better hand. I think the Twins, because the White Sox got Tony La Russa, I think the Twins have better management and they have so much more depth that I think they're going to be more successful, over a 162 game season. I think at the beginning of the season, the first half, the White Sox are going to be winning the division. But I think at the end, because the White Sox don't have much depth, they just have so many young guys. If one of their young guys gets injured, their team, they don't have good backups. So I think number 2, White Sox can be 94-68, still very, very good team. Number 1, Twins 97-65. Like I said, the White Sox on paper are the better team. I just think in a full 162 game length that the Twins are more stable and that they have more depth than the White Sox do in hitting and pitching. Now, moving on to the American League West. Starting out at number 5, the Rangers, 57-105. I think the Rangers are the worst team in the American League. And I think they're probably one of the worst teams managed just in general. They have such bad management. They don't have a good farm system. If you're a Rangers fan, you're kind of crappy right now. A 57-105 record I gave them. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do really bad this season. Rangers have nothing to look forward to. Offense is poor. Pitching is poor. It's just a poor team overall. Now, next up at 4, I have Mariners. Number 3, I have the Athletics. Now, I know that's going to shock some people. Because, yes, the Angels are number 1 or 2, which is crazy to think about. But I just think that the Mariners at number 4, 74-88, they're a team that I think, honestly, could be in the playoffs this season. It's possible. If they can have a breakout season and their prospects just break out, they could be a lot better. I think their ceiling is 3rd or 2nd in the division. 74-88, I think they're a good team, but I still just don't think that they're top up there. Now, at number 3 are the Athletics. The Athletics are one of those teams that they have so many players who you're like, okay, that's an okay player. They do really, really well. Matt Chapman, as you can see, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, some great hitters on that team. Ramon Laureano, you got Chad Pinder, and there's a few guys on that team you can believe in. Elvis Andrews they got. I just think that they're just not as good this season. I think they definitely got weakened, and I don't think they're going to be a great team this season. So at number 3 of the Athletics. And then coming in at number 2 are the Angels. I know, 86-76 record. I have a feeling, though, that this year the Angels are going to do good. Okay? I just think that the reason why I think they're going to do good is because of how good their lineup is this season, that they're going to be a team where I think they're going to have such good hitting that they're going to be able to outscore some teams. Because these 3 bottom teams than them are all worse hitters. And none of them are especially good pitching compared to the Angels. Yeah, you can make a case for the Athletics, maybe the Mariners' young pitching, but the Angels, like, it's not like a completely bad pitching staff for any of the other teams. So 86-76 for the Angels. And then at number 1, I have the Houston Astros, the Cheaters, 95-67. They're the best team in the division. They just got Jake Odorizzi in a signing. MLB offseason grades, I think they're a little better now. By the way, if you haven't seen that, go check that video out. I might have a link in the description, or just go check out my channel, my MLB offseason grades. Astros, 95-67. I think they're going to win the division. They're a good team. Moving on to the National League, we're going to start with the National League East. The best division in baseball. I don't know if you can argue it against it. Marlins at number 5, Phillies at number 4, and Nationals at number 3. Marlins, a 72-90 record. I think they're an interesting team. They're not a great team. I'll say that the Marlins, they're not like a great team, but they're actually one of those teams that if they were in a different division, I think they could do very good. Marlins, they could be sneaky good. At number 4, I have the Philadelphia Phillies, and I have them at 76-86. Philadelphia Phillies, 4th place team. I think they're an actually sneaky good team. I think they could do decently good, and I think the Philadelphia Phillies are like a team that they have so many good guys, but just because the division is so stacked, I have them in 4th place. I mean, they have a good team. 76-86, like, that's not a good record, but like that's kind of where they fall just because of how stacked the division is. At number 3 of the Nationals, 82-80. They made some additions, and the Nationals aren't a bad team. That rotation is nasty. That 1 through 3 is insane. three-headed monster. That lineup, there are a couple guys you can like in that lineup. Juan Soto, breakout guy. You have Trey Turner. You have Josh Bell. You have Kyle Schwarber. Nationals are the number 3 team, and I think the third best team in that division. Going to the number 1 and 2, I have the Braves and Mets. I don't think this was too much of a surprise. Mets at 86-76, Braves at 89-73. Mets have a great team, great lineup, great pitching, but the Braves just have better, and they have younger. The Mets have DeGrom. They have Thor, hopefully going to be able to come back. Noah Syndergaard, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Carrasco. That's a good rotation from the Mets. But the Braves, I mean, Fried and Anderson broke out last year. Their lineup is disgusting. Acuna, Ozuna, Pache's coming up. You have Freeman. You have Albies. Like, you have such a disgusting lineup. Dansby Swanson, Travis d'Arnaud. Like, it's just insane. Mets, great lineup, too. They did Lindor. And I know Braves are only 89 wins, even though I think they're on paper better than some of the other teams that have high records. It's just because the division is so stacked that they're going to lose a lot of games because their division is stacked. Next up, the NL Central, the weakest division in baseball. Starting off with the Pirates at 54-108. I think the Pirates are going to do bad this year. I think they're going to be the Detroit Tigers in 2019 or the Orioles in 2018. They're going to be a bad team. Nothing to look forward to. I mean, it wasn't a surprise in my opinion. And number 4, I have the Reds. The Reds are a team where I feel like people expected them to do better than they did last season. The Reds have a good team, like a team that last year was playoff contender. Great 1 through 3. Bauer, Gray, Castillo. That's a great 1 through 3. Bullpen, you had a few guys in there. You had Raisel Iglesias and a few other guys in there. Archie Bradley, Amir Garrett. There are a few guys to like in that bullpen, and then their lineup. Nick Castellanos, Mike Moustakas, Eugenio Suarez. There was a few guys in that lineup who just hit home runs. But they didn't. The Reds really did bad last year. They underperformed. They made the playoffs, but it wasn't a great team. They underperformed. Their pitching was just... their pitching was good, but their lineup was atrocious last year. I think they're going to be in 4th. At number 3, a 79-83 record, we have the Chicago Cubs. They're a team who I think should be doing better than they are, but they just won't because, their front office should just sell everybody. I don't know what they're doing. They get Peterson, but, they're not in a place to really contend. You have Rizzo, Contreras, Baez, and Bryant, but still, I just think that the Cubs have so many guys that could be good. I just don't think they will be. 79-83 record. And then number 1 and 2, Cardinals and Brewers. And number 2, 85-77 for the Brewers. I think they're a team that they have a plan. They have Burns. They have Woodruff. They have Hauser. They have a few good pitchers, and their lineup is not bad. You have Yelich and Avisail Garcia. You have a few guys in that lineup you can bank on. Keston Hiura, not a bad team, 85-77. But, if they were in another division, they probably wouldn't be up there. And number 1, the Cardinals, 91-71. If they didn't add Nolan Arenado, I really don't know who I would put in first. It would be a toss-up. But because they added Nolan Arenado, they added that team. They have a great pitching staff with Flaherty and Kim and their lineup. They added Arenado. They got DeYoung, and they got Goldschmidt. They got O'Neill. They got Harrison Bader. The Cardinals are at number 1. And then going to the last division in baseball, the National League West, Rockies, D-backs, and Giants. I think we're going to end it off 61-101 for the Rockies. They're not a good team right now. They got rid of Arenado. I don't know how they got rid of Arenado. The Diamondbacks, 70-92. I mean, they have nothing. They have such a good farm system for, the next few years, but the Dodgers and Padres are so stacked that I had to put them at number 4. Giants, they actually aren't a bad team, but I had to put them at 81-81 for number 3 because the Padres, like I said, the Padres and the Dodgers are so good. The top 2 best teams in baseball are in the same division in the National League West. I mean, if you're any of these teams, it's rebuilding time. It's really rebuilding time for all 3 because you're not going to beat the Dodgers or the Padres. You would have to sign like 3 more Mike Trouts on your offense and 2 or 3 more Jacob deGroms on your pitching staff because there's no way any of them are going to be able to beat the Padres or the Dodgers. So there we go. And then going out at number 1 and 2 are the Dodgers and the Padres. Surprise, surprise. Padres at number 2. I want to put them at number 1, but I think on paper and just the Dodgers are just so good. Padres 99-63. Great team. Great team. If they were in any other division, they would win it. Any other division in baseball. But they just... I mean, the Dodgers are just so good. The Padres, I mean, they added so many guys. Snell, Darvish, Musgrove, Dinelson, Lamet. Like, they have such a good rotation. Padres 99-63 lineup. Tatis, I mean, Hosmer, Machado. I mean, there's so many guys that you can like. Trent Grisham. They got Ha-Seong Kim. Like, that team is just stacked. And then you think of stacked, and you think of the Dodgers. 104-58. I mean, I'm going to tell you their pitching staff right now. Trevor Bauer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw. Those are their three pitchers. All Cy Young candidates for sure. Then you have David Price in your rotation. That's great. And then listen to some of these back guys. You have Dustin May, one of the nastiest pitchers I've ever seen. Tony Gonsolin. This dude is lights out. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but there are so much depth in this Dodgers rotation. And then you go to their lineup. You have Bellinger, Betts, 2 MVP award candidates. You have Seager, who was arguably one of the best shortstops in baseball last year, if not the best. Turner has been insane. Muncy has been great. You have so many good guys. Gavin Lux, one of the best prospects coming up in baseball. Their bullpen, you have Trinan, you have Canely, you have some great bullpen arms. Like, that's a great team by the Dodgers. It's just stacked. 104-58, best team in baseball. One of the best teams in rosters in baseball history. It's just such a stacked team. Thanks for watching my video, guys. I hope you like my standings predictions. I will do another video later on, maybe at right before the season begins, on my postseason predictions and who I think will win in the postseason. If you do like this video, hit that like button down below. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my predictions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.